What do you think needs to happen for President Trump to not get reelected? Not reelected, but not get reelected. At this point right now, even Business Insider said investors from the left in New York, they said, if Bernie is the nominee, we're going to go for Trump. These are Democrats.
Yeah.
They're saying, if Bernie's the nominee, we're going for Trump. But what do you think needs to happen? Like, could a coronavirus getting out of control hurt him getting reelected?
For sure it could.
Okay.
To the depths with which is anybody's guess. I think for sure it's a factor. I think the biggest factor, frankly, is when you see the level of support that's been garnered for a guy like Bernie Sanders, is that it's taken full advantage of what I just mentioned, is a politically correct, soft and weak society that doesn't really understand how the world works. That there is no such thing as free college. Somebody's paying for it. Just because you're not paying for it doesn't make it free. And because social media is so manipulative, and because our education system from K through 12, and especially in the universities, is so ignorant to the way this country was formed, and more importantly, why it was formed, I think is scary. And it speaks volumes in the fact that civics classes basically don't exist anymore. And if you ask anybody from the age of even starting to be in the age of reason to, say, in their late 20s, almost all of them, or almost none of them, can accurately and correctly answer basic tenets of our government, of how bills are passed, of basic American history, basic world history, and kind of why this country exists, how it got to where it is. Capitalism is the reason that a guy like Bernie even has the ability to get to where he is, which the irony is ridiculous with that. And the fact that most people don't pick up on that, to me, is frightening. And there's enough people at this point, if you see how much success he had in 2016, and how close he came, and had the entire Clinton machine against him, had CNN was against him, and the entire DNC was against him, and he still almost beat her out. If he had had a fair shake, he very well may have beaten her out. 4 years have gone by, and now he's that much stronger, or I should say, our society is that much weaker and that much more willing to hand over the keys to their everything to a guy who promises them things that he absolutely, just mathematically cannot deliver. And the fact that people don't understand that can listen to that guy talk and say, yeah, that sounds awesome, to me is frightening.
Why do you think he's getting so much momentum?
It's for those exact reasons. It's a lack of civics classes. It's a political correct nature.
You think that's it?
I absolutely do. I think that our success has become our own worst enemy.
How much of that you put on the media?
A lot of it, not all of it. It's
Okay.
a combination. It's like with most things, is that there's a multitude of factors. The media plays a big role, but it's not the only role. Our success, technology as an example, has made our lives so easy to where we don't, as human beings, for the first time in human history, in the last, we'll say 30 to 50 years maybe, is the first time in thousands, tens of thousands of years, where our main day-to-day isn't based around just surviving. Go camping in a national forest, not even at a campground in a national park or a state park. Go into just BLM land and live out of your vehicle or out of a tent for 5 days a week, self-contained, where you've got to purify your own water, gather your own food, gather your own wood, and basically just survive. And you'll find out in a matter of hours that none of the rest of it matters. And that's how we lived as a species for forever until just very recently. And so the technological advances that have made our lives easy changes everything. It changes breeding partners. It changes how you raise your family. It changes what you give a shit about. It changes what your priorities are. When you completely alter all of those things that are vastly different from how they have been genetically ingrained in us for millennia, it's a flip of a coin as to what happens, and I think that's why you see the ridiculousness that you see at this point.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. That's the best way of putting it. It is craziness, because I came here to get away from the craziness, and
now you're right in the thick of it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, well, America's not a great country to be in. You don't understand what they do over here. There's a lot better places to go to in Europe, but everyone who's saying there's a lot of places to go to, they're not moving. They're staying here.
Yeah, capitalism ultimately reigns king.
But, we lived in Iran, and we said there are other places to go to, and people are like, well, then go. No, we did.
Yeah.
A bunch of people left because there's many other places to go to that's better than when we were living there.